Welcome back. I'm Megan Zuccaro, and I'm with Trent T. Daniel, the co-creator of Capital Credit XP. And we're going to talk a little bit right now about the skepticism people have about credit repair.
Well, credit repair is traditionally has been a marketing thing. A lot of people don't understand that. But what I mean by marketing is when you open up a newspaper or you hear an ad on the radio that says, we guarantee to remove all your bankruptcies, tax liens, judgments, all those things. Well, for people who have those things on the report, the tendency is to flock to that and spend whatever that the person is asking for them in order to get that. We don't believe in the concept of credit repair because, first of all, a credit report cannot be repaired. When you tell me that you're going to repair something, my concept is that you're going to take it from being broken and fix it. Well, you can't fix a credit report. But what you can do is that you can apply what's called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And it's a federal law, which is a set of rules and regulations on how to interact and deal with the credit bureaus. Now, laid out in that law is the framework for what has been called credit repair, which is actually credit improvement. So when we say you can improve your credit, what we mean is that by using this software, we've done all the work for you. We've pulled together all the information. We've put in all the logic that you need in order to effectively communicate with the credit bureaus in your attempt to remove negative information from your report. We can't and won't guarantee you that you will go from a 500 to an 800 credit score because there are no guarantees. But the fact of the matter is that most consumers don't even understand how to work on their credit. And so what they do is they go hire a credit repair company that's making all these promises, and it ends up with a lot of disappointment.
You know, I'm glad you explained it that way. That makes sense. I always wondered how people took off their bankruptcy or took off different things that were huge events for people. Right. That makes sense now. Now, talk to me a little bit about personally doing it versus, like you said, going to a credit person to fix it for you. What do you think is better?
First of all, I'll say what the Federal Trade Commission, which is a government agency, says. They say that self-help credit repair is the best approach. Now, the reason they say that is there's so much fraud in the marketplace. You have people being taken advantage of because they're trying to get those bankruptcies, those tax liens, those judgments off their reports. So I would never go to a credit repair person or company because I don't want to expose my information to people. Why would I, if I'm trying to improve my credit, why would I want to turn my information over to some credit repair company? The next thing is there's nothing that a credit repair company can do for you that you can't do for yourself. But you have to be willing to undertake the process. Now, if I told you today, Megan, you've got a collection on your credit report, what would you do first?
Probably be surprised.
Okay, and then after that?
Then I'd probably try to figure out who that collection was for.
Okay, you see, and in all that time, I'd be surprised. I'd try to figure it out. What that means is that you don't know what to do. It's just like I say, Megan, the house is on fire. What would you do?
Run out.
You would immediately take action in order to remedy the situation, okay? So that's what this software product does, is it just brings everything that you need into one consolidated package right there at your fingertips in order to help you improve your credit. It's not a magic pill. It doesn't clean off bankruptcies and tax liens and judgments with a push of a button. That's not what it's about. It's about undertaking the process as laid out in the Fair Credit Reporting Act in order to improve your credit report.
Wow, that's really amazing because there's so many things that you don't know. One of my biggest questions would be, is it going to be easy for me to understand and to use?
Well, we're going to do a demo a little bit later on of the software so you can see for yourself. But the software is extremely easy to use. I'm not only a software developer, but I'm also a consumer. So when I use a software program, I want it to be easy to understand. I don't want to have to try to dig and figure out what this button is and what this button is. So we created a very simple interface for people to understand, hey, do you want to order your credit reports? Press this button. Do you want to dispute negative items on your credit report? Press this button. Do you want to attempt to add positive information to your credit report? Press this button, you see? So it's a very simple, easy to use, user-friendly interface for the software, and people have been very happy with it.
Well, and the one thing people will always say is they don't ever get to see their credit report. Generally speaking, when people pull people's credit report, it seems like they don't ever give them the credit report.
Well, yes, and see, that's part of that mystery in the credit industry. You know, you go to apply for a car, and the finance manager, he pulls your credit report, and he sits back with his, you know, in his shirt and tie, and he doesn't let you see what's on there, but this is what they base your interest rate on. So why can't I see my credit report? Well, federal law does not allow us to show you. And did you know it's not federal law?
I was just going to ask you.
It's not federal law. It's not federal law. It's the credit bureaus don't want you to get your credit report from someone else is pulling it. It doesn't make any sense, but that's the way the system is. So in credit reporting and in this country, what you don't know hurts you. That's bottom line. So with Capital Credit XP, we want to educate the consumer to understand credit and credit reporting. We want to make it very easy to do that because, let's be honest, most of us as Americans are caught up in life. Everything. We've got the internet, we've got the kids, we've got all these things going on, and we don't really have time to pay attention to what's happening with our credit. So the software is easy to use, it's user friendly, and it will help you make the process of improving your credit much easier.
And with Capital Credit XP, the first thing I'm assuming would be to pull your credit. What would be the next step after that?
Well, after you get your credit reports, which the software will do for you, it has a wizard that will automatically go through and allow you to generate your credit, and we'll show that in the demo. The next thing you do is you start to communicate with the credit bureaus. This is the point where you initiate correspondence to them to let them know, hey, I looked at my credit report, I've got some information on here that I don't agree with or that I don't understand or whatever the situation is. And even if it's a legitimately negative account, you can still send correspondence to the credit bureau saying, listen, I want you to re-verify this information. And it's just as if you said, I didn't know what this information is. So you don't have to lie to the credit bureaus in order to start the process, okay? So once you initiate the process of correspondence, then it's a couple of months of back and forth interaction, you sending letters to them, them responding back. But every step through the process, you're holding the credit bureau to the law as laid out in the Fair Credit Reporting Act. The credit bureau must respond within 30 days. That's not something that's made up, it's federal law. But what happens? Most consumers, A, they don't know that, and B, what if they don't respond in 30 days? Well, they just leave it alone. The credit improvement process is a legal process, and that's the most important thing that we want to get through to consumers. It is a legal process. If you use the process to your advantage, you possibly can achieve significant results in improving your credit. If you just say, hey, you know what, I can't deal with these credit bureaus, I don't know what they're doing, and I don't know how to get any information, guess what? You're going to suffer.
Well, it really makes a difference when you spoke about the credit repair versus the credit improvement. And I really think that helps the consumer understand the difference between the two. And as Trent has said, is we can help improve your credit score, but we don't repair your credit score. So stay tuned, because as we sit and visit about the opportunities that you have with Capital Credit XP, we'll talk more in depth about how it will personally help your situation.